the most dangerous storage unit finds.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today we're looking into the odd and disgusting world of storage units. Is stuff starting to pile up in your house? Are you running out of room? Are friends and family starting to make weird comments about your life choices? Fear not, friend.
Just throw it all in the storage unit. That's why you knew, bro. Storage hunters. You remember those shows? Storage Wars, American Pickers. All of those were like fake ass shows. I'm so sure of it. Maybe the storage units were real, but dime a dozen. You know, like not like it's one in a needle in a haystack. You're getting a good storage unit. Most storage auctions are selling like, you got to think, bro, like what is the average shit people are putting in storage units? Holiday decorations, mattresses, family memorabilia, and shit, like trash, almost. Basically trash. Stuff that's meaningful to an individual, but worth nothing. So whenever I saw those fucking videos where it'd be like, yep, just bought this storage unit for $1,400. Oh my God, look, he has antique rifles in perfect condition that are worth $140,000. Who the f puts that in a storage unit? Why would you have that? Oh, he has a katana collection. What? What are you are you going through like the coolest people ever? What do you mean? If that's the stuff they're putting into storage, I want to know what they actually own. Like, are you going through like Jeff Bezos's abandoned storage unit where he has like a block of gold just sitting in the corner? Like, who the fuck has that? No one has that shit. Some cool ass stuff. Yeah, that, and then they just never find anything that's, dude, there was one show or like one episode where they actually went through shit, and I was like, wow, this is interesting, because it was all trash. It was just garbage.
There is a simple solution that may only cost you roughly $20 a month, allowing you to relocate your hoard of filth elsewhere. So first off, love Storage Wars. Fake TV show, love it. Love Storage Wars. But then I've been seeing all kinds.
Yo, I feel like these guys, wait, go back to store. I used to watch Storage Wars every day. This guy, these two, terrible couple. I wonder if they're still, I think it was for the show. Obviously, I think it was staged, but they would always bicker. They hated each other. I never understood how they weren't divorced. I'm going to say that right now. I'm not trying to like judge the relationship or anything, but like on the show, they would just fucking scream at each other. It'd be like, all right, don't bid on that, honey. And he'd be like, yep, another, yep, okay, yep, we're buying that one. After his wife literally told him not to get it. Just like direct oppositions. This is the favorite character, though. Favorite character right here. The old guy, don't remember his name. This guy was a douchebag, Dave. I always wanted Dave to get upbid on something and then fucking make no money. And I hated the show too, because it was like, not only was the shit they were getting like fake, it was like they just knew the price of shit off the top of their head. Like Dave would walk in, he'd be like, broken Turtle Beach headset, $20. Candle warmer, $15. Oh, ladder, $183. And you throw it to the side. I'm like, yo, you have to sell that to someone. Like, not only are you buying the storage unit, like, who are you? And then one day they showed Dave's actual shop, and it was just full of shit. It was like shelves, like floor to ceiling, of just like random technology parts and stuff he got at a storage unit. I'm like, who's coming to this store? I just go to Best Buy. If I'm looking for a fucking iPhone charger, I'm not going to go to Dave Hester's auction site and go buy a fucking used Amazon cord that he got from a dead guy that didn't pay off his fucking storage unit.
TV show, love it. Love Storage Wars. But then I've been seeing all kinds of videos online of verticals of people like, they find tons of money. It's all fake.
Get the fuck out of here! If I found that, I'd think that there's a drug dealer that used to own that shit. You found a wad of 10 grand?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I bet you there are storage units where people find some crazy shit. But I want to know, what's some real?
Nah, surely. Drugs. That's what you're finding, bro. I could see a world where, like, a storage unit gets foreclosed on, you buy it, and there's just, like, 5 kilos of cocaine that you find. Like, or a grenade, bomb, unregistered weapons. That's probably really common. Finding guns. Like, weapons, knives, stuff like that. But not of value. It's just, like, okay, this is like doesn't even have like the serial numbers fucking scratched off.
Crazy shit someone's found. I want some disgusting, depraved stuff, and that's what we're going to dive into today. All right, storage units are a great solution for those with too too many possessions. The services range from small rooms to large garages, and these labyrinths are found worldwide and hold all sorts of strange items. However, these large steel buildings are not as safe as you may think. From burglaries to insane tenants and even murder, storage facilities are the wild west of urban cities with chaos hiding
Yeah, dude, there actually probably are people that sleep in storage units.
behind every turn. So, grab your padlocks and steel boots as we get ready to lift the door on the strange ongoings of storage units. I lived in a storage unit for 2 months.
What's the weirdest thing? Bodies. There was probably somebody that bought a storage unit and there was like a human head. Something like remains of an animal, dead stuff, rotting shit. Like what else is like disturbing or dangerous? Bombs, acid, just fucking weird murder, sex dungeon shit. Yeah.
If you've ever watched shows like Storage Wars, which was one of the most popular shows of the 2010s, it goes without saying that there are all sorts of crazy things to be discovered in storage units. Storage Wars followed a competitive group of
and bro, they would always be in some fuck ass town. They were never in like Miami, dude. They'd be in like rural Nebraska. Yeah, today we got a good find here. We got a few units we're gonna be putting up for bid. A few units we're putting up for bid in Nebraska. What do they have?
buyers traveling from auction to auction, trying to see who could make the most money with the units they purchase, right? $500, sold to the guy for $500. Now I need to make $500 plus more money for profit. That's the show. That's every episode. And there's some bickering here and there. It's trash television. It's also all completely fake. It doesn't matter. Still,
bro, really? Now that upsets me. I wanted at least part of it. I knew it was fake, but like you kind of want part of it to be real. It's like when you're a kid and you find out the WWE is staged. And you defend it for a while, you're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Randy Orton actually fucks people up. And then you do know it's fake, but you kind of believe it. That's where I was with Storage Wars, where it's like, yeah, no, I know it's fake, but it's like, dude, they're still throwing haymakers on each other. Like, they're getting hurt. They're getting hurt. Former Storage Wars star files lawsuit claiming show is fake. What lawsuit is he filing? Because he was a part of the show. Like, I don't understand.
Over the years, some of the people on the show have found insane things like rare art collections and priceless vehicles. And although this might look impressive, they pale in comparison to some of the stuff we are going to see.
Yeah, he would always find some crazy shit. He'd be like, this is worth a ton. Look at this. Pulls out a picture of a German Shepherd. Guess who painted this? His son's like, who? The Adolf Hitler. It's an original. Really? A random storage unit in fucking Tennessee had a painting from Adolf Hitler.
And although this might look impressive, they pale in comparison to some of the stuff we are going to talk about today. Starting in 2018, a man who bought a unit for $500 and was so excited about what he found that he approached Storage Wars auctioneers Dan Dotson to spread the word. Inside the unit was a lock safe and took multiple attempts and 2 different locksmiths before the code was finally cracked. When they opened the safe, they were greeted with $7.5 million in cold, hard cash. I'd come. I'm not even joking. I would be leaking. I'd be oozing the honey. The maple is going down the tree. You know what I mean? It would be a beehive in my pants, is what I'm saying. Sticky. News of the discovery made it back to the original owners of the unit. Realizing their money had just been sold for less than 1% of its worth, they contacted the buyer with a lawyer offering $600,000 for the unit and the money. No. After intense back and forth, both parties settled on a reward of $1.2 million and the owner received their money back in full. He still got $1 million out of it, but I would have been like, I'm not fucking giving you shit. That's also
okay. Well, what dumbass would also not pay their storage? See, this is what I'm saying. You have $7.5 million of cash in a storage unit. You had to have robbed a bank. Like you robbed the New York City Central Bank and fucking stole $7 million in cash because a regular bank has like 10 grand on hand at a time, maybe 50 tops. Like, what the fuck? Like, how are you not paying the $100 a month for the storage unit?
You lie and say, I found $3 million in a deal. I'm not going to tell people about the other $4.5 million. Come on.
So wait, also, is this the
I'm cutting the fucking cameras. I'm telling the show to fuck off. What? If I'm Dave from Storage Wars and I find $7.5 million in a safe, I'm giving the producers $3 million and I'm going, fuck off.
Many believe that the cash was unmarked and was being held in a locker to avoid the law. Storage lockers are typically used for non-perishable items, and while some are climate controlled, it's never a good idea to store food inside. During a routine lock check, a manager began to smell a funky, sweet smell emanating from a nearby locker. When they opened the door, they found 4 large 55-gallon drums. They slowly opened the
I'm immediately assuming there's a dead body in there. 4 55-gallon drums. 55-gallon drums of lube. Doubt it's lube.
barrels and found that inside the unit was over 200 gallons of maple syrup.
That's not that bad. Maple syrup. Why do they have that? What a fucking shock that would be. You buy the unit, there's just fucking literally hundreds of dollars of maple syrup. It's authentic. It's from Vermont.
Relieved that it wasn't anything serious, they contacted...
Did they ever plan on using it? Do they, like, show up to the storage unit once in a while and, like, fill up their syrup bottles?
The owner and asked why they were storing so much liquid inside the facility. The owner said nothing. The manager didn't remove...
Pleads the fifth. Okay, that would sketch me the fuck out. Hey, man, just wondering why you have, like, 4 55-gallon drums of syrup.
Moved the syrup, but
hangs up.
Did notice that bugs and other vermin were starting to hoard around the locker.
I think they stole the syrup. I think it was a little syrup thief.
So you think that these are people that, like, they went to the Aunt Jemima factory?
Yeah.
Does syrup go bad?
I don't think it does.
I think about it. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen bad syrup. Editor note: can syrup go bad?
Yeah. No, syrup could go bad, and I think I've had expired syrup before at like an Airbnb. Do you guys use the condiments they have at Airbnbs? I do. But I'm always worried. I always get worried, bro. I'm going to go to an Airbnb and use their shampoo, and the person before would have put Nair in it, and then I'll just see my hair just like falling into the fucking... Dude, that's such an unrealistic fear, but I mean, that could definitely happen. Like somebody puts Nair in the fucking soap that they give you at like an Airbnb, and I'm using it, and then my hair just starts fucking falling out of my head. Some shit like that. I use the syrup, though, and I remember one tasted weird one time, and I looked at it, and it was like 2 years expired. No, but it could get moldy. Yeah, I guess that... Oh, God. Was it moldy? No, it just tasted weird.
A lot of storage facilities act as graveyards for deceased people's stuff. Once the person is gone, their belongings can sit there for years until the container is auctioned off along with the stuff inside. One of the most common finds is war memorabilia left behind by veterans. Usually it's old medals, uniforms, and guns, but on rare occasions, it leads to live arsenals being discovered, aka they have like a fucking bomb. Out in Rockwell, Texas, bomb squads were called to a storage space containing what they were told were live military-grade munitions. When they
Yo, that is literally a missile shell.
arrived, they were greeted with boxes of hand grenades, old ammo, and even live tank rounds. That guy's just like, I want to take them. My business is not done. After safely removing all the explosives, they were taken to a nearby field and detonated. God, what a fun day. How
They better let me go to that, you know? There was a controlled detonation in a nearby field. I feel like they'd have to invite the guy. If I'm the one that... Do you think if you own the storage unit, the police would let you come with them to the field where they'd blow it up?
and detonated. God, what
Have to.
a fun day. How sick would that be? Well, you got to use them. Look at your buddy. You're making money.
No. That's lame as hell. I'd be like, give me money. Give me $500 for the fucking rounds then.
Dreams come true. Oh, that's...
So did they get the watch?
Yeah. The people blowing them up?
Or I meant the people who bought the storage unit?
Oh, they better. I'd be like, yeah, this is fucking bullshit. You better let me blow. I'd be like, you need to rent me.
Yeah, I would want them to give me the little presser thing where I go, doomph, and it blows up like dynamite.
A tank so I can shoot this. I feel like you could rent tanks for not that much either. There's no...
What? It's only $600. You get to drive a tank. Oh, you get to crush a car. You pay $3,000 almost. You get 5-ton transport, 2 passengers. You get to drive all 3 of these things. Crush a car, 5 machine guns. Barrett 50 cal. Shop and equipment tour. Might as well fucking write that off. That's stupid.
Guns, like they're not, but you can drive them. That's a lot of places you can do. You can like run over cars with them and stuff.
Oh, but in a location, you can't just take it to your house.
No, it's a.
Oh, okay.
No. No, the treads would tear up the road. The city would be very mad. It is unclear who the previous owner was and how they acquired such a dangerous collection. Investigators discovered the bombs while investigating the owner for a massive Ponzi scheme. While searching his locker in hopes of finding more evidence, investigators instead uncovered explosives. In total, police removed 60 PVC pipe bombs and over 400 cardboard explosives. Motherfucker, a Home Depot terrorist. The owner, S. von Merchenthaler, was arrested and sentenced to 11 years in prison for illegal possession of explosive and weapons.
That guy was starting a revolution.
That guy was getting ready. I'm like, some bank just got spared because that motherfucker was going in. If you go digging through people's stuff, you were bound to find creepy items that they didn't want you to see in the light of day. In Florida, a former medical examiner's dirty secrets were aired out when he defaulted on his storage payments. Dr. Michael Birkeland, a medical examiner based out of Pensacola from 1997 to 2003, was fired for not creating proper autopsy reports. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this does not sound good.
So he was stealing body parts or something? Oh my god. He was a guy that did autopsies, was taking like fingers and genitals and shit from people, storing them in a fucking locker.
My asshole immediately did. Following his departure, he
The guy had no butthole when I found him.
continued performing autopsies until 2007, when he stopped altogether. And in 2012, Michael's storage locker was auctioned off for $900 as he could no longer afford it. When the new owner started digging through the stuff, he found a stack of boxes in the back.
$900? Who the fuck would pay $900 for a random storage unit?
Corner and was disgusted by what he found. Inside were organs belonging to over 100 different people.
Were they like in a jar or something? Organs from 100 different people he just had in boxes? Was he like eating them? Were they rotting? Like, why was he taking organs from people?
Brains, lungs, livers, and hearts were all found in formaldehyde. That would be a smell alone. When you open that store, you would have to smell it. Formaldehyde is strong.
But it should be sealed, right?
Yeah, but I would still think of, 100. I would assume that you'd be like, it smells weird.
There would be boxes. It's not one small card, but you would have a whole corner of boxes full of just random organs and jars.
Here, which maybe all storage units have like a funk, but formaldehyde, I feel like you can smell that shit.
Why? What makes, like, I understand he does like autopsy shit. He might be like just into that for some reason, but what makes you want to just take like the brain of a random person?
I feel like it would emanate a little bit of scent.
Like a collection?
Even worse, the organs were stored in
Oh my god, they were in like food Tupperware bins?
basic Tupperware and double gulp cups from local gas stations.
That definitely has a smell. That
Like he took the fucking lungs of somebody and just dumped out a fucking big Diet Coke, just put it right in the fucking cup.
I thought they were in jars.
That wouldn't even seal it.
Oh my god. No.
How do you even obtain formaldehyde? I mean, dude, he was an autopsy doctor. Like, he probably just had access to that.
Not even glass jars, plastic Tupperware, and big gulp cups, dude. Fucking big gulp cups. Police quickly tracked down Dr. Birkeland, and all the organs were removed. He was charged with keeping a public nuisance, improper storage of hazardous waste, and driving with a suspended license.
Just threw that on top.
Yeah, like, what's the charge there? Is it, like, stealing from a body? Because he's not killing people. No, it's not like Dexter. He's not killing people. They're dead. He's just taking their body parts. Like, you died, he's doing a report on your body, and then he just takes your lungs.
We gotta make sure we get this motherfucker. 10 families were notified of their deceased loved ones being found in the locker. Michael never faced any jail time. How? Because he posted his $10,000 bond and walked away. Posted $10,000 bond, but was unable to afford the storage. I'm telling you. Every one of
Yeah,
these
he
is
just wanted to get rid of that shit.
just a little suspicious, isn't it? To be fair, if he's putting the brains and organs in big gulp containers, I don't think he really gives a fuck that much. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. Threw it in there.
I want to know why he did it. Do you think it was just trophies?
Probably. If you're
It was probably like weird oddities of things from people that died that he wanted, and then it became like kind of like a habit, maybe a superstition. Like when he's on the job, he has to take like a fucking trophy or something bad will happen.
doing the autopsy stuff, you have to have a fascination with the human body in some way where you're they're probably like prize organs. That's the most beautiful liver I've ever seen.
How do you take the brain out of a person without them noticing? That's what I don't understand. If you're an autopsy doctor, how the fuck are you drilling into somebody's skull, taking their brain out, putting it back without anybody noticing? Like, because wouldn't the person at the morgue be like, yo, this guy's head is fucked up?
I thought he was going to do something much more diabolical.
I thought he was fucking dead bodies. Because
Oh, I didn't think he was fucking dead bodies. I feel like it might have been like an organ harvesting business, you know? Guy's dead. You kind of just, take the lungs out. Give them to a black market dealer.
But Dr. Brooklyn wasn't the only one misusing a storage unit. While his story may have been the most grotesque, others have turned the spaces into makeshift homes. The price of rent has become nearly unaffordable across the United States, causing people to look for cheaper places to live besides
Is it illegal to stay in a storage unit? It's probably not allowed to sleep in it.
being outright homeless. Many have chosen to move into storage units. Certain storage facilities offer climate
That actually looks sick. I would sleep there. Got a whole ass living room, bed. Got a bit of a kitchen going on.
facilities offer climate-controlled units, plug-ins, and public bathrooms, covering all the basic essentials one would need to in basically an apartment. With the average size of a container being 10 feet by 10 feet, that is more than enough room to fit a single bed and a small kitchen. Plus, storage facilities cover the cost of the utilities, so really saving some money. Granted, you're in a rat cage, but still, out of the rain. So long as you can afford the cheap monthly payment, you can live well within your means.
Yeah, oh, you got to keep quiet during business hours? What, because you're just... What would they do, though? Just kick you out?
Well within your means. And one woman chose to move into a storage locker after her rent was raised from $850 to $1,300 because the building had to be rebuilt after a tornado leveled it. Which I want to say, that's unfair. That's a huge jump, too. My God. $800 to $1,300? Holy fuck.
That was just an excuse to raise rent.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we had to do a new one. I have to do it. It's like, fuck you, dude. Yeah, right. In 2021, Mayfield, Kentucky was hit by a massive tornado that left most of the town in ruin. Angie paid her rent by driving for Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Lyft, and was barely making her rent. But after the tornado destroyed her building, it was sold to new owners who raised the rent to $1,300 a month to help pay for the renovations. Tired of living in a one-bedroom apartment with a collapsed roof, she decided enough was enough and packed up all of her things and lived in her car. Since her car was crammed with stuff, she couldn't do ride sharing anymore, so she decided to rent a storage unit. At the time, she also began dumpster diving for Nike
I don't know. I get the liability aspect of you're like, okay, you can't stay in this fucking storage unit, but how do you prove that somebody's living in there? Because I could just be like, oh, no, I just got to move stuff in and out, man. Like, it's your storage unit. Like, I would be like, oh, no, this is just a bed, man. I'm not sleeping here. This is just like a little hangout spot for when I'm, like, moving my stuff around. Yeah, catch them sleeping. It would be at night. If they're, like, there at night and they're not moving stuff in and out. I feel like you can't really hide the fact that you're living in a storage unit. If your car's always parked in the lot outside of it and you're just always there, like, people would be like, dude, you're sleeping here.
The dumpster diving thing, good way to make quick cash, especially if they're nice shoes. Why the fuck not? So she upgraded to a larger unit to store her inventory after discovering it had a power outlet. She brought in items like a fan and lamps and eventually decided to stop sleeping in her car and live in her locker full time. Angie was able to live in the facility for quite a while, living off her Uber and Grubhub money.
Yeah, I get her being able to live in here for a while, but, like, why is everything just fucking jumbled around, bro? Like, there's literally no organization. This feels like a trash storage unit. Like, there's just a microwave on the ground. There's not even a power outlet. Where are you gonna fucking run that? How do you have power? Do they get like a fucking just like a generator? They don't have fucking outlets at storage units. It's just a metal fucking building.
Stopped sleeping in her car and live in her locker full time. Angie was able to live in the facility for quite a while, living off her Uber and Grubhub money. However,
why would there be an outlet at there's a single power outlet? Why would there be an outlet at a storage unit though?
She was eventually evicted because she was found storing her stuff in units she didn't pay for. All right, Angie. Angie was she was rolling hot. She was like a Scorsese like protagonist in a movie, and then that's the thing. That's the thing that flew too close to the sun. To make things worse, she lost her Uber and Lyft license because of a DUI from 34 years ago. And
what? You get fired from Uber because you had a DUI 34 years ago? I get if you had a DUI recently, you shouldn't be able to work at Uber Eats or Grubhub, but like, I feel like if you're in your 50s and you got a DUI when you were like 18, I feel like you should be able to like do delivery service. Maybe I would maybe get it if it's like Uber. If you ever have a DUI on your record, you can't Uber people. But like, why can't you deliver food? That happened to my dad. I feel like that's crazy. You're not allowed to deliver fucking somebody's KFC because you had a DUI 30 years ago.
Things worse, she lost her Uber and Lyft license because of a DUI from 34 years ago and has since moved to a different, cheaper storage facility where she lives now. I'm gonna say that's fucking bullshit. 34 years ago I had a DUI and that's an Uber gets me for that? Word? How about you fucking forgive and forget, dude?
The one thing that I've been seeing, yeah, dude, actually, that's what I agree with that. Like, I don't think you should be fired for that. I was gonna say the weirdest thing about like Uber with like recent economy is like the self-employed work makes it seem like the country's more employed than it is. Because so many people do Uber Eats and like Uber and all that shit on the side. But the majority of that isn't like, you're not getting like full-time wage pay. You know, like a lot of people that are unemployed that don't do a 9-to-5 do Uber Eats to make money on the side so they could like afford, you know, to live while they're searching for a new job. But you're like, you're not unemployed, but you kind of are employed. Per Atrioc. Atrioc talks about that stuff a lot. I don't know if he said specifically what I've said. But yeah, with Ubering in general, it's like, it skews the numbers. But yeah, he's not a fan of, I don't know if he's not a fan of Uber. But he's talked about how like part-time wage work is pretty bad. It's good for like stimulating economic growth for people that need side hustles. But it's like, most people that do Uber Eats are just doing it to get by or get extra money for a specific thing. So it doesn't really count. It counts as you being employed, but you're not really employed.
People must have complained that they maybe smelled alcohol on her.
She keeps putting stuff in my storage locker and I think she's drunk. What if it was that? On TikTok, a couple went mega viral for showing off their elaborate home inside a storage locker. Leyland Brown and his partner run multiple social media accounts under the name Fullest Nest and have gone viral because
we're getting evicted. I mean, yeah, you can't really post. Like, if you're trying to secretly live in a storage locker, you can't really post about how you live in a storage locker.
Social media accounts under the name Fullest Nest and have gone viral because of a video showing off their storage unit. Hidden behind a wall of boxes was a full-blown apartment, complete with a couch, dressers, and a small kitchen. Leyland claimed he could run through the halls for exercise, use the bathroom whenever he wanted, and play loud music without disturbing anyone. This video would not only build his online following, but also get him kicked out once the property manager saw the video. Following the move out, Brown and his partner had been living in the woods inside a tent and getting continually evicted because he would...
Living in the woods? Yo, I would go rent another storage unit. What? I feel like this same day, bro, you could go a town over and rent another. If I needed like actual time, I'm not gonna go fucking live in the woods.
Buddy, give up the social media thing. That or lie about your location. Holy shit. Today, the couple lives permanently inside a hotel room and uses generous donations to help them stay out of storage lockers.
In a hotel room? Wouldn't that be more expensive than, like, maybe a motel, but wouldn't living in a hotel room be more expensive than living in a, like, apartment? Dude, because a hotel room's like $100 a day. More. What hotel room are you staying in that's cheaper than an apartment? Yeah, like a GTA 5 motel? No, there's motels that you can rent for months. Yeah, like an extended stay motel. But that's it.
Numerous instances of people living inside of these facilities, it is actually against the law to do so. Some places have input extreme measures to ensure that...
Is there a lot of people living in motels in America? Yeah. If you ever drive past a motel, I would say most people that you see on the outside are living there. Not like permanently, but they've been there for a month. It's usually like an in-between spot. If they're trying to find like an actual apartment, but nothing's cheap enough, or like they can't get a duplex or Section 8 housing, they usually stay in a motel. Midwest hotels are actually really cheap. Hundreds of thousands of people in the U.S. live in motels long-term due to poverty or housing inability or instability. I don't know. Anytime I pass a motel, dude, you could see like bikes and stuff on the outside. Like, people are like long-term there. It's not just like a casual stay.
Managers are trained to identify suspicious activity and contact the police as soon as they suspect someone is living inside a unit. Additionally, more security guards are being hired to patrol, making it increasingly difficult to stay overnight. New locations are being built to be more hostile inside, with no restrooms on the property, no electricity or temperature control, and even poor circulation to prevent air from circulating. Excessive. Someone's just like, I want to rent this unit, I'm going to stay inside. I'm storing myself. What's the big fucking deal?
It's a violation. It's a code violation. Also, you're not paying enough rent to live there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, do you think they're just like, well, you just give me somebody using the bathroom?
Yeah, they'd let you live there if they could, under the table, get $1,000 a month from you.
You have to sign a waiver being like, if you die from a heat stroke in here because I've done the AC sucks, you're in a storage unit. Okay, you can't sue me. You need to realize this is a storage unit, so they don't come to me and be like, it's too hot in here. Is it? You know what I mean? That's fair to me. Like any business, you're going to encounter weird customers, and storage centers are no exception. For some reason, the halls of metal doors and concrete flooring really get people hot and horny. Numerous cases of people getting caught having sex have been reported, and what is even more strange is that 90% of them are cheaters trying to find a hidden place to elope. I'm on true.
Oh my God, they're trying to cheat on their husband or wife, but they don't know where to fuck, so they just go to a storage unit and meet up with a random guy or girl. The Love Shack is a little old place where we can get together. Our staff has discovered that a couple is using a leased indoor climate-controlled unit for regular afternoon delight. Winky face. The arrangement appears to be an old-fashioned adultery. We're in a smaller town, best facility in our region. Bro, why don't they go to like a fucking motel? They're fucking in a storage unit.
Getting caught having sex have been reported. And what is even more strange is that 90% of them are cheaters trying to find a hidden place to elope. I'm gonna treat my baby right. I'm taking her to the storage unit. It's hot in here.
Cause yeah, you could set up a bed. Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Easy. Jesus. God damn, dude. You need to calm your ass down. In Cleveland, Ohio, the chief of police was found cheating on his wife with another woman. Chief of police is so funny. Wes Snyder had served as police chief for a decade and was widely respected for his dedication to the city. Definitely respected by somebody. That all changed when workers at the storage facility noticed that he and Sharon Marr, a city nonprofit employee, were entering a unit together for 6.
Bro, why don't they just get a divorce? Like, why are you, if you're going through the lengths of like fucking a random woman in a heat-controlled storage unit, why are you with your wife? What a way to destroy your career. Bro, literally, just get a fucking divorce. Why are you, do you love your wife? How do you love your wife enough to stay with her, but don't love her enough to the effect that you're going to now rent a storage unit for the purpose of having sex with women?
When the staff opened the doors, they found the couple having sex in a makeshift sex dungeon. The dirty deed took place on a rug with pillows and blankets. Other things like alcohol, baby wipes, paper towels, and hairbrush were found inside. God damn.
It's very depressing.
It's a very...
This is where they're fucking, dude. Oh my God. Not even gonna get like, bro, you could at least get like a cot. This looks like a fucking shit pillow and something you found on the side of the street, dude. This is like beach lounger pillows.
It's a very depressing locker. If you're the chief of police, can you not, can you not get a bed? Get a hotel.
Yeah, splurge a little bit, dude.
Hell, dude. God damn. A sex dungeon, too. I mean, it really is. It's just a thing where it's just like, this is our fuck shack. I call this the raccoon trap.
Yeah, and do you think they leave right after? Like, they meet up, maybe go to dinner or whatever, go back to the storage unit. Yo, you want to go back to the unit? Take you back to the unit. Unit 108. It's our spot. Let me light a candle real quick. Mahogany. I actually got it from Yankee Candle. You know, this is the first time I'm lighting it just for you. And when they have sex and then they leave. Like, you know how awkward that would be? Do you think they sleep there? No, because he has to go home. So they go to the storage unit, have sex, and then leave.
After 33 years of service, quickly resigned, and both parties issued an apology to the city.
I mean, at that point, bro, just like fucking a gas station bathroom. Like, that's, like, it's not romantic. You got a fucking beach lounger pillow laid out.
It's becoming more difficult to be at a storage unit when nature calls. Bathrooms are now private use, and this has left some tenants to leave their shit elsewhere. At one facility, workers were alerted by a bucket found in the middle of an aisle.
Just filled with poop.
When they found it, they witnessed that it was filled to the brim with human feces.
That was the picture? That wasn't the real photo. That's not poop. That looks like dirt.
Filled to the brim with human feces. Filled.
But then they have to be pushing it down. Like, you would have to mat it down at some point. Or do you think the poop just eventually, like, finds its place? You know? Like, it just, like, mushes down over time. And that's not the real photo. Is it weird to say that I want to see the photo? An entire 5-gallon bucket full of poop?
And it is believed that the person shit there on purpose. They're making a statement, dude. At an outdoor facility, a property manager hopped on his golf cart to patrol the grounds when he found a t-shirt discarded outside a unit. He reached down and tossed the shirt into the back of his cart, only to be hit by a spray of cold diarrhea.
What?
Wait, what?
Only to be hit by a spray of cold diarrhea.
What?
What do you mean hit by a cold spray of diarrhea? Like, it smelled like it was diarrhea? Like it was covered in, like, poop?
Someone had used the shirt as toilet paper and covered it in feces. So everyone that's watching...
And he picked it up and didn't notice until he got back in the golf cart? It would immediately reek.
This video's clicked off, right?
Yeah, at this point.
They're gone. I'm talking to no one now. Online, multiple people have come together to tell their stories of how people will simply poop in trash cans or next to fire hydrants, like a dog. Another manager complained to having to deal with a serial pooper who stalked the grounds at night and pooped on buildings and the streets. Goddamn serial shitter's back. You think he like shows up there, like the sheriff's like looking at it? What is it? He's just like, I know who that's from. It curves to the left.
I recognize the poop swell. There's corn in there. It's one of his favorite foods. He always has it's always a darker hue, a little closer to black than brown. Either he has a colon disease or some sort of disorder, or he's just a big fan of hearty, fibrous fruits like blueberries.
Because tenants are regularly found passed out or injured near their units. The owner of a storage facility was alerted to a specific unit after smelling smoke in the hallway. Smoked himself out. When they opened the door, they found the owner on the ground unconscious and a jerry-rigged kitchen cooking food. Got a big old like pork chop in there.
He had a full-blown smoker in his storage unit. He just gassed himself out of the storage unit.
Nothing I love more than cooking a pork chop in my storage unit. The renter had set up a hibachi grill. What? He was practicing? The renter had set up a hibachi grill and covered himself in the grill with a blanket to mask the smell, but asphyxiated himself with the smoke and fumes. What a dipshit. He's doing that thing. He's like, dude, I'm doing that onion ring volcano. He's like, that's awesome. Just blacks out immediately. A similar situation occurred during what the owners referred to as a dead body walk, when one of them discovered a customer passed out drunk in the middle of the aisle. The owner was drawn to the man when he found a...
Why are we renting storage units to people that are doing this? I feel like you would get the vibe that that's the type of guy to fall asleep in a storage unit just drunk. Like somebody shows up, yeah, I need a unit, man. He's like already hammered. I'd be like, no.
Long extension cord that spanned nearly the entire building. When he found the drunk, he passed out with a beer in one hand and the other down his pants. In front of him sat a TV and a VCR that was playing pornography. What a king.
Wait, so he was fucking jerking himself off with the
Hey,
bottle?
bro, extension cord over, he was plugged it in, he was beating his dick off, getting drunk. He's like, ugh. How do you wake, even if no one found him, how do you wake up from that?
Yeah. What am I doing?
Why do I keep doing this? The VHS has popped out because it, like, you know, it stops, it rewinds, and it pops out. And he's sitting there, he's like, pushes back in, round two. Takes his onions. Covers himself in a blanket. The police were called, and the sound of
out again, just asphyxiation.
sirens woke the man up, giving him just enough time to hide to one of the empty units. He had previously been given keys to all the vacant units in the facility after helping the manager move some things.
What?
Oh, now
Why was he given keys to empty units? Because he helped them clean? She would pay him something for doing so? So she just let him have access to the fucking units? Why would you ever do that with a random guy?
the facility after helping the manager move some things.
What?
Oh, now he's the key master too. You helped me move a box, so here's every key to every unit. The same man had been seen just a few days earlier naked and unconscious in front of a different unit, but no action was taken. Damn, dude. That's a minotaur. That's a labyrinth I would not want to walk into. Can you imagine like sitting there and grab your stuff?
I'd be scared. I don't know. I'd run away probably.
If I saw a naked passed out guy, yeah. Well, I'd probably call 911 because like, hey, there's a dead naked guy. After the police left, he emerged from the hiding and confronted the owner for calling them, only to be kicked off the property for living inside the unit. I like how he had the audacity to be like, dude, really? Or you're gonna call the cops? Cool, man. I thought we were cool. He has like a giant keyring. Does this mean nothing to you? I'm never helping move your Hot Wheels again.
Does this mean nothing to you? You remember when I helped you wipe down that one unit that was like full of poop? Definitely not me, by the way. Definitely not me. That I know the unit was like broken into and everything. Definitely not me. I helped you, and then you gave me the keys, and so like I get a little drunk, put a VHS tape in, and you know like drink Modelo's and maybe have a rhino pill or two. I mean, it's my unit. Is this not my property? At least for the small amount of time that I own it. I have the keys for these other units. I would say it's my humble abode. I could even maybe have squatters' rights for all I know.
Man. Hot Wheels, Matchbox cars, not doing it, dude. NASCAR, I'm not doing none of it. Not moving the cars anymore, man. In another unit, a tenant was evicted after the manager discovered bloody handprints and smears stretching from the front to the back of the unit. According to the manager, the space was packed to the ceiling, forcing the tenant to climb over her belongings to reach items in the back. In the process, she would cut her wrist and body on exposed roofing and metal walls, leaving streaks of blood behind.
You're just getting fucking tetanus. Rusty wires and ceiling shit that's just falling around, dude. Oh my God. Storage unit full to the brim, no walking space. You're just climbing over stuff, just cutting yourself with like old antiques.
Crawled out. That's I completely understand though. Am I gonna take everything out? Just crawl over it. Yeah, I got cut up a bit, but I'll be okay. What if she died in there? It's like a saw trap trying to get to your Furbies in the back. Back in 2008, an obese 60-year-old woman. Why are you looking at me? Back in 2008, an obese 60-year-old woman came into the front office to pay her bill when she tripped and had the front door pin her to the floor. What does that even mean? How did it pin her to the floor?
I'm guessing she like tripped and the door broke and then.
His staff rushed over to help her up. She was screaming and hollering in pain. Ah! The general manager was the first to reach her, freeing her leg from the door. Once free, she was dragged further into the lobby and rolled onto her back like a manatee. She tried to get up on her own, but she was so large that her gut prevented her from sitting up. Preach. Staff described her situation as rolling around on her back like a turtle and could not get up. That's a quote.
They couldn't fucking like pick her up by her arms and hoist her up. She was just permanently stuck on the ground. What do they have to get, like a gurney?
That's a legitimate quote. Rolling on her back like a turtle. I thought they're just watching her.
Like she's rolling back and forth, bro, like helpless. Just asking for somebody, yo, somebody please help me up. I literally can't, and they're just.
And they're just looking at her like, let's just wait for her to die. Eventually, the manager pulled her up off the ground, and staff were checking her over to make sure that she was all right when they noticed that she had pissed herself during the fall and soiled her pink sweatpants.
Oh my God.
You fell down, you got pinned, I'm gonna piss myself. All right? That's not even an act of rebellion, that's just the facts. After she was deemed okay, she paid her rent, but moved out about a month later. Because why? How embarrassing is that? Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking.
Yeah, I mean, that would suck, man. It's funny that, like, you know, the situation unfolded in the way that it did, but being the person that, you know, basically falls over, the storage unit falls on your leg and you piss yourself and then you can't get up. It's like, now you're going to feel like you're being judged the entire time you're there.
There are numerous bizarre and horrific renter crimes. Tenants and managers don't always see eye to eye, but that doesn't mean they can't get along. Eric Adams worked at the 1 in 5 mini storage near Portland, Oregon for 15 years and was liked by most of the tenants. After about 5 days without hearing from Eric, a friend drove to check on him. He opened his storage unit and found Eric dead on the floor. Police determined that the cause of death was blunt force trauma from items found in his own unit. Suspicion grew when none of Eric's valuables were taken, suggesting it wasn't a robbery. His death would remain a mystery for a year until
So it was just a straight up murder?
Police gained access to the keypad records and found that one tenant was at the facility during Eric's final moments. Rob Caputa had entered the facility around the same time that Eric did, but after an hour, only one left. He was a long-term tenant at his unit since 2019, averaging about 55 items per month. But after Eric's last...
What do you mean 55 items a month? He had been at the business often. He showed up to the storage unit 55 times a month? What the fuck do you have at your storage unit that you're showing up over almost twice a day? You're going to the storage unit more than people go to the gym.
He avoided facility for 3 weeks.
See, now he would have had to keep coming back around. That makes him seem sketchy. You're going there every day. You're a fucking regular at the old storage unit. You know people by name, and then you just disappear.
Not good, Rob. Suspicious activity, Robert. Rob was eventually arrested after DNA was found on Eric's body and was sentenced to 3.5 years in jail. That seems short. In court,
seems very short.
It was revealed that Rob killed Eric after someone ran over his dog at the storage facility, and he blamed Eric for its death. He fucking John Wicked him. He doesn't know if it's Eric. He's just like, you have to die.
You got 3.5 years for first-degree murder? He ran over my dog. Well, no, he didn't run over your dog. Your dog just got ran over.
Another man in North Carolina was locked in his unit for days without food or water by his girlfriend.
Women, man.
That's also unsafe. I feel like storage units should kind of be like refrigerators in that, like, you should be able to get out regardless. Or like aren't most car trunks like built in with hatches to where you're able to escape even if you're stuck inside? Like that's scary that you could lock yourself in a storage unit and not be able to get out. Well, you couldn't lock yourself in. Somebody could lock you in.
In 2024, police responded to a call at the Cooper storage compound from a man who claimed that he was locked.
But how would they have a safety mechanism for that? Because the latch is always, the security lock's always on the outside. There would have to be like a side door that's just a one-way.
Inside his girlfriend's storage unit. When they opened the door, they found Gary Oxidine, weak and emaciated, on the floor. He had been surviving in the unit for days with no supplies until he found his phone in complete darkness and called for help.
It took him 4 days to find.
Yeah, that is a little crazy. It took him 4 days to find his phone. Previously accused his girlfriend of locking him in a storage unit for days and now saying the charges were a mistake.
Days with no supplies.
What do you mean saying the charges are a mistake?
Until he found his phone in complete darkness and called for help.
It took him 4 days to find. What?
I wonder if on the last day he's just like, I really should look for my phone, actually. I'm not gonna die here. After his rescue, his girlfriend, Robin Deaton, was arrested and charged with attempting murder and kidnapping. However, after the charges went public, Gary spoke to the media and claimed that the accusations were bogus. He said he had simply fallen asleep in the unit and his girlfriend had locked it without realizing he was inside.
How do you, you're the significant other and you showed up to the unit together. What? That'd be like me and Brooke going to a storage unit. I fall asleep and she locks me inside. And she's like, I don't know where Joe went. I didn't see him. What? How do you not notice it's a storage unit, not a fucking mansion?
This was in complete contrast to what he said in the 911 call, where he claimed his girlfriend was trying to kill him. When the case went to court, the charges were dropped after Gary had admitted to lying, and the couple was able to walk free. I'm telling you, that is some diabolical.
That is some crazy relationship shit. I don't understand how I understand he drops the charges because he doesn't want her to get in trouble, but like, how do you even argue that she didn't mean to do that?
If you think padlocks are going to keep your stuff safe, then you're mistaken, because break-ins happen all the time at storage facilities. A traveling nurse in Colorado had,
yeah, it's fucking sheet metal holding your stuff in place. They could just fucking break through it.
$80,000 worth of stuff stolen over an 8-day period from Extra Space Storage.
Or just bring a fucking, what is it called, a bolt cutter.
She lost furniture, medical equipment, family heirlooms, and even her engagement ring. Police respond.
Why do you have your engagement ring in a storage locker? I'm gonna have it. I feel bad that she had her shit stolen. Why the fuck do you have your engagement ring in a storage unit? Why is that not in your room?
To the break-ins and added her case to the long list of 55 previous incidents reported at the facility that year. Since the incidents were reported, no other break-ins have occurred as the facility upgraded security. Oh, did you? With what money? $80,000 worth of stuff is what I think. That's what I'd be suspicious of too. People that work there, they see you bringing in stuff. What is this? Oh, just like my grandpa's baseball card collection.
I mean, look at the guy.
Dude, just my grandpa's like Pokemon collection. He just has like, dude, it's a bunch of these cards just in this like wooden box. They're all like sealed and shit. It's like, there's this Pokemon called Charizard. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna like leave it here. I don't really want it, but I don't want to throw out my grandpa's stuff.
One of the victims claimed the thieves stole most of the audio equipment, including TVs, car stereos, and mixing boards. Police wonder how the criminals were able to pull off the heist because although units are indoors, have a code at the front door, and they are equipped with cameras everywhere. California appears to be a hotspot for criminal storage activity. Just a couple hundred miles south of the last break-in, Steve Bohannon and his nephew purchased an abandoned locker for $80 at auction and were excited to flip whatever was inside. They were greeted with a bunch of boxes that read, "Danger, poisonous."
They didn't see that when they were fucking bidding on it. I always think that's weird that you're not even allowed to walk into the storage unit. You just have to stand outside of it and kind of like guess, and then they just bid on it.
What is that, Uncle? After opening them up, they discovered that every single box...
Oh, it's a closed locker? That's even crazier. You're just betting what it is off like on a whim.
They discovered that every single box inside the container was filled with meth, beakers, and safety equipment. Thank God. Steve,
do they get refunded by the storage? Do they get refunded by the storage like company? If you bid like fucking $500 on a storage unit and it's just all full of meth, toxic shit, I would be annoyed as fuck. I would be like, give me my money back. Because now I'm not profiting anything. Because you're not going to be able to sell it. It's all going to be closed by the police because now they're going to have to investigate who owned this, what else is in it. Even all the stuff that isn't meth is now probably valueless because it's going to be fucking criminal evidence.
Report his discovery, and they arrived in full hazmat gear to safely remove all the drugs and the equipment. But just want to say, this is not me actually saying it, but don't get an extra storage thing. Extra storage seems like a scam. That's not me saying it. Disclaimer, I'm not really saying that, but extra storage seems like a bad place to keep your stuff. I wouldn't do.
Extra storage, the place where they rob your fucking wedding ring off of you, and when you actually bid on a unit, there's just meth lab shit in it.
It might just be best to keep all your stuff at home and not risk enduring the horrors of modern-day storage facilities. Between unruly guests and incompetent managers, you never know what you're gonna get. And if you're not careful, you might just lose everything. However, if you need to rent a storage unit, make sure to do your research. And if you're choosing to live in one, Godspeed.
If you live in a
I mean, don't live in a storage unit. I think if you're gonna live in a storage unit, don't post it on TikTok. Here's my storage house, doing a little review. We're going to be live streaming here on Mondays and Thursdays. So if you want to see, you know, here's the front of the storage unit. You know, if you want to call the owner and let him know that I'm squatting here, that would be awesome. Like, what the fuck? So, I don't know. That was an interesting video. It took us forever because we had to keep pausing for chat. But, yeah. Count me down 30 seconds. Then we're going to hop.